Hello, everyone. So I was asked to do, and I don't know that I'm an expert in this, so I was asked to do a quick training on vendor events. I have been part of Nu Skin since March, or I'm sorry, since May. And I have pretty much from day one have been doing vendor events along with selling Nu Skin. Um, so I'm going to go through the very basics of kind of what is an online event, how to find online events, and also kind of how to be successful selling Nu Skin at online events. So here we go. So what is an online vendor event? So online vendor events are where people are in, usually what happens is when you become part of this and as a vendor, you are asked to invite usually like 50 to 80 people to your vendor event. And it's a place where customers can come and shop the online event, and it's just one large private group of vendors. Usually there's about 20 vendors at each event. So how do you find online vendor events? So the one thing I want to tell you is do a Facebook search for them. You're going to find some events are absolutely amazing. They have good engagement, they have good customer building relationships, and you're going to find some are just flops. You won't hear anything, you won't see anyone. So just be aware there's good and there's bad out there. Some events will charge you a fee. Some of these fees are very appropriate. Some of the fees will be for one of the vendor events I'm in. They do a raffle, not a raffle, I'm sorry. They do a throw everybody into a raffle, I guess, that purchase items throughout the weekend of the vendor event, and then they get a chance to be in a cash drawing. So our fees go to pay for that customer's possibility of winning. I've had several customers that have purchased items from me, have been in that cash drawing, won their money back, and have then reinvested more money into my business, which is fabulous. So it's just great, and it just builds that relationship. So another way, how else can you find online vendor events is ask other vendors that do direct marketing. You need to connect and network with people. That's really the key. It's the key of doing direct sales in general. It's the key of doing vendor events. You need to start looking for people you can mentor or network with, mentor and build relationships. So it's a little bit of everything there. So if you're asking other vendors about, hey, have you ever been in any vendor events? Do you have any groups that you're involved in? A lot of times they'll tell you which ones to connect up with, or maybe they'll invite you. The other thing that I guess I want to say with that is always be nice. I had a gal that I connected up with, was doing some networking with. My 9 times out of 10, the other vendors that I connect up with become some of my best customers and also are more than willing to do shout outs. I flipped one, and she's now one of my downlines, and she's amazing. So just always be nice. I ran into a situation yesterday where I asked one of the vendors that I've worked with a number of times if she'd want to do a shout out for me, and I got well, I'm too busy building my own business. How do you expect me to do this for you? And I just said, oh, that's okay. Thank you anyways. But she's not going to go anywhere. If she's not willing to build relationships and network and, help other people out, they're not going to help her. So that's really the key. So I guess that kind of leads me into, okay, once you get set up in these vendor events, how do you have a successful vendor event? So one thing is invite everybody. And do personal messenger invites. Don't just invite. Reach out to people. One of the, if you're continuing doing the trainings that our upline on here are saying, and you're building those friend lists, you have new people all the time. So invite everyone. Don't just think, oh, they're not going to shop or they're not going to do this or that, because you never know what someone may become interested in. So invite everyone, keep building that friend list. Another thing is post and follow all the rules of the vendor event. So again, you can have great hosts and facilitators, and you can have ones that are horrible. I've had them both. So, but really try to follow the rules. If it's a great organized event and good mediator and host, you'll do great. One thing about with your posts, make sure you organize your most important post. So, we at Nu Skin can talk all day long about a gazillion products, but the reality is, depending upon the vendor event, you're going to get a snapshot of some of your most important products. So you want to get those out there. So for example, tooth whitener is always going to be on there. That is our backbone that needs to be on there. It's usually one of my first ones, and I usually tie it as an early bird special for a lot of people as well. I even tie it in bundles, and I'll explain that in a little bit, to some of my other products. So when you do a post, they need to be informative. You're highlighting your products. You need to have pictures or videos. A lot of times customers are just going to scroll. Just like if they were window shopping in a mall, they're just going to walk by and see stuff, and something's got to catch their eye. You can do lives. Usually most vendor events allow you to do lives, and that's a great way to build that relationship with a private group of people. You have, a good group of people. If you're going to do a live, I suggest announcing that you're going to do a live, and then do the live like a little while later, because that'll get more, in essence, butts in the seat for you to be able to watch your live video and interact with you while you're doing the live. Make your buyers feel special. I do that in a number of ways. One way I do it is I love to do shout outs to my moms. I just did a vendor post this morning and said, calling all you moms out there. I know it's been said a number of times in a number of ways, but go brush your teeth. Those are kind of mom things that we do, and it's great to just recognize, hey, I'm not the only mom who's always griping at my kids to go brush their teeth. So do shout outs for people, moms out there. Hey, you runners out there, you get those tired and achy sore feet, or hey, you nurses that have been on your feet all day long, I have something here for you, or hey, all you sun worshipers, it doesn't matter what it might be, hey, I've got a tanner now that can keep you safe. Different things like that. So just kind of do shout outs to different group of people in your post. Also make sure when you're doing your post that you're adding things like safe, all natural, or if it is all natural, of course. And some of our key product things, you can always look at our products in their informational pages, and there's tips on some of the things that customers are looking for, kind of some of those big key points when you look at the products, that you can put right in the post. Have fun with your post. It's important that somebody wants to stop and actually read your post, and that it's not just all verbiage, or it's not just a bunch of busy pictures and it doesn't say anything. Add gifts when appropriate. I love to add fun ones like, hey, hurry up, or, a lot of people connect with your friends, the office, different things like that. So anytime you can put one of them in there to have fun, or hey, look like they're dancing and they enjoy the product or anything like that, do it. It just draws attention and it'll make people laugh. You can also make your own post, as videos, which I didn't know how to do this until recently, so I've been playing around with it. There's free tools out there called Canva, Canva, or Photo Room. You can utilize both of those tools to make videos with our products using our product pictures, and it's fabulous. They're attention getters. They'll circle things for you, different things like that. So they're super easy to use. They're free. You can purchase parts of them too, but you can also do just as nice of things with the free tools. I also, in my post, when I do vendor events, I have my direct website link in each post. I want my customers to explore my website further. I've even played games with them where I'm like, hey, find a product with the letter P in it, or that has an image of the sun on it, where my customers will go out actually into my website and look for these items. Kind of like an I Spy game is what I've done with them. So again, I want them to explore that website. I want them to see all the great products we have to offer out there. Make sure that when you're doing posts as well, one of the things that customers love are offers, bundles, deals. They, again, want to feel special, so make sure that during these events that you're finding a way to get that done. A lot of times, and I know Erin and many of you have mentioned this before, just they'll feel special if they can do almost like a BOGO, like they can buy one toothpaste, get one for $15. If they can buy 2 tanners at a discounted price. And really all you're doing a lot of times with that is you're adjusting and getting rid of their shipping fees maybe, or different things like that. So again, make them feel special. Do those bundles, do those offers. And I do them throughout the event. I start usually with an early bird, and usually a couple times a day during my different posts, I'll do some type of bundle or incentive or different things like that. Games. So a lot of vendor events allow you as a vendor to do an individual game. Or multiple games if you choose. So I usually try to do a game per each vendor event just because it's easier to keep track of. If you do a game, keep it simple. Most of my customers want a game where they have like a one-step thing to do. For example, my most successful games are like, hey, pop a balloon, and which just means they select a balloon, or pick a duck, or last week I did pick your favorite river floaty. So they really don't want to do multiple steps. I talked before where I did, where I had them go explore the website and do that kind of stuff. You'll usually get a handful that will do that, but you won't get a large group that'll do that. And when you do a game on your vendor post, you want a lot of chatter, which means you want people paying attention to that. You want people, multiple people involved and playing and having fun, because that then gets your post kind of to the front line of all the guest posts. So that kind of leads me into one of my other large, how do you make this be successful, is most importantly is to keep engagement up during an event. And that means you must post on all of the vendors' posts, not just your own. But you need to make sure that you're commenting and interacting with all of the vendors. Ask them questions, engage with them, ask them about their products, because you know what? They'll return the favor and ask you. And the more chatter you can get, that really helps boost that Facebook algorithm and keeps your post and this vendor event on the forefront of all of your customers' Facebook feeds, which is really the goal here, is to keep engaging your customers. Loves are better than likes. So in Facebook world, if you're hitting the like button, that's great. But hit those loves. Give people hearts. Give them some loving. Facebook really says, hey, they're loving this. So that's something, then they want to make sure they're showing it to more people. One of the things, too, I wanted to tell you is be cautious of vendor events that do order trains or raffles. And when I say raffles, I'm meaning like where you have to put up a thing and then people buy spots. And most of these events are not really supporting building new customer base and can be expensive. Can be a really expensive gamble, and you may not get any additional customers out of it. So just be cautious of those. Also be cautious of vendor events that are like, oh, we have 1,300 customers, because what has happened is they've not stayed engaged with these customers, and they're just people that have been stuck in this group and probably don't even know how to get out of it and just avoid it. So they're not really interacting in the group. They're not doing anything. The vendor chatting hasn't been, engagement hasn't been on a higher level. So then people wind up you don't get anything. It's like crickets. You have 1,000 people supposedly connected to this, but you hear nothing. So just be cautious of that. I've also done posts right in my vendor groups for, hey, do you want a free tanner or free whitener post? And then just like we do in your regular post in Facebook in the vendor group, if they say, yeah, hey, I'm interested, then I'll PM them with more information regarding doing shout outs for me. I've gotten numerous shout outs from other vendors and from customers doing vendor events. The great thing about building those relationships and connections with vendors is because they do what we do, folks. They also have a large network of people that see their post. So when I ask another vendor to do a shout out for me, and by the way, I'm doing shout outs for them too. When I ask another vendor to do a shout out for me, it goes to many people because they understand how to post publicly. They understand how to get it out there. They engage with me once I post my product out on the shout out. So it works really, really well. I've gotten numerous sales of other vendors doing shout outs for me. So again, yeah, absolutely, I'm going to help them out too. Follow up with all those comments and likes. I can't say that enough. Send PMs even after the vendor event's done. I go through and I look at the event and I'm like, okay, who engaged in here that I might have missed? Different things like that. Recruit, build your team, do those flips. I found one of my favorite downline people right now has been doing awesome, and I recruited her from a vendor event. So again, build your team, have fun with this. Listen to your upline. They have awesome stuff to tell you. So good luck. Again, I'm not the end-all be-all on these vendor events. They've just worked for me. So have fun with it. Thank you.